Jesus. But anyway, um, um, I'm just worried now that we have to play Spurs and they've beaten us 3 times this year. Although I think every of those games I thought we were better than them. When Bruno got sent off in that game, we came back, made it 3-3, and lost on a corner goal. Um, I can't fathom in any history of all time that that we would lose to Spurs 4 times in a year. Um, Now again, we're undefeated in Europe, but we're playing a team that's for the Premiership. So all the great things that Casemiro has done against these European teams probably will not be that great. Now, Madison is not going to be around. He's done for the season. What I did like to see, what I saw tonight, is that we got guys in that off the bench, and they really changed the game. Um, they had a great goal. Babel got a great goal, and it really shocked me. Um, I think that Onana probably should have been able to save that, or at least parry it. Uh, you have to use one hand there, not two. With one hand, he gets another 6 inches on that ball, and he puts it out of there. You don't go up there with two hands. This is the issue of the entire thing is this is 101 for a goalkeeper. So he should have known that. Was it Donnarumma did it last night? He put his one hand over there, and it was going in in the corner, and he got it off. He should know this, and certainly he shouldn't pay 5 or 50 million for this type of goalkeeper. He should know this. I'm just watching Mark going through the ratings. I gave them all 10 because they got us to a final. I don't give a shit. Give them all 10s. Um, and the thing is, you see now what we can actually be, and see how depth or how deep our bench could actually be when everybody's fit. I thought Mason Mount finally, paid back his huge transfer for fee and also what he gets every week, and he is really pushing to be in the final to start. Now that's not going to happen, I don't think. I mean, it might be Mount and Bruno in the tens. It might be. Um, Garnacho had a really good chance to score, missed it. But I don't think he'll do that. The biggest area that I'm very concerned about is Lindelof, and is if I think for the next 2 games, I think that Shaw is going to play more and more, and we're going to see if he's finally in a good position that he can do what he wants to do. And if he thinks that he's taken off the rust, and I think he looked okay. I did. He at the end of that game he looked good, but again, you kind of feel good when we're winning the game. So it's very possible that Shaw will be in there and take that position away from Lindelof. And you can't really get upset with Lindelof. I mean, we got 7 goals in 2 games. We only gave it 1 goal, and that was a 30-yard. Just I'm not gonna say it's unstoppable. I think that Onana should have probably used his other hand and got it over. I think that David De Gea makes that save. So so I think the Shaw is going to be in the final. I just think he will if he plays the next 2 games, or at least half of those games. I think he's going to play because he is the guy that is so good and is clearly better than Lindelof playing that position. Dorgo has to be a little bit better. Um, he worries me at times, but he's also very a physical player. Um, Euro is just unbelievable. 19. Mark was talking about it. He said when Rio Ferdinand was 19, he didn't play like this dude. And talk about everybody talks about what we got guys in. Mazarawi still good. Yaro good. Yagarte good. Xerxes good. The first really good the the first real transfer window under Ineos has been unbelievable in my mind. Ugarte is going to be very, very important in the final because he's going to have to do things because Casemiro, because of how well he's been playing, he's going to be in the final. And the issue is he's had very bad games against Spurs, and it worries me. And also, we got Manu there. So it's a very interesting thing. The next two games that we're playing against other teams, they're going to be really fighting to be in that final. Now, I think that Casemiro is going to start. I think Ugarte is going to start. I think the only really change we're going to see in the final is that Shaw is going to play for Lindelof. I think that's what's going to happen. If long as Shaw doesn't get injured, I think that's what's going to happen. And we have a really good bench now if that's the case. We just can't get to the point where we're behind in that game, unless it's one goal or something like that. We just have to be close enough. And also, Garnacho might lose his place. I don't know. I don't know. It's possible that Dalot will be back, but we've been winning these games without him. So I don't know. But we're very deep now all of a sudden. And I said this about 3 or 4 months ago. If everybody's fit, and we can be good, and the young guys can come and with their legs and just come in at the end of the game. And Mount is still a young guy. He's still in his 20s, and he just dominated that game once he got in. And Mano is very good at that point. This team that we were winning against, not against him, some of their players. Jesus, 5.3. They give Garnacho a 5.3. That's stupid. I think he's probably leaving. We'll probably do that anyway. If Bruno doesn't all of a sudden leave because of what happened here, everybody says he didn't play well tonight because they're giving him 1.2 million at this place in Saudi Arabia. I thought he played a very controlled game, and I think that this is what his coach told him to do, and I didn't like it. I want us to get a first goal and just take the tie away. Again, they scored from a worldie, and just made it more stressful. But I'd rather would have played a team in Europe, really, other than Spurs. But I just can't. In my mind, this is Manchester United. There is no way. I can't even fathom that we would lose to Spurs 4 times in a season. I can't even. It's just it doesn't even make any rational sense to me. So, they had a lot of things in those games that went their way. Like I said, Bruno being sent off, came back and said no longer, right? It was not a red. And they won that game 3-0. And every other games have been won within 1 goals against each other. 1-0 and 4-3. So it's not like they're going to be so much better than us. But it's, Spurs doesn't have the ability. I mean, it scares me because if we end up losing them 4 times and we don't get the Champions League, it's going to cost us a lot of things. And again, we probably don't deserve it. We're Manchester United. We've had a lot of things in the last 20 years, 30, 40 years. It's just unfortunate. Nice to see that Rasmus got a goal tonight. A 6? I don't know, whatever. I think that the next, 11 days, do we actually get to the final? Or 12 days, or whatever we're at? 8, not. I'm just going to be happy at this point, but I'm going to be so nervous on that game. And really, my second favorite team is Spurs, because this is a team that never really does anything, but I've always liked the way they play. It's just going to be interesting. I don't know. It's going to be very difficult for me to watch that game. I'll watch it, of course. After what happened last time we got to the European final and losing in penalties, we lost 16 penalties went through. Hopefully we don't get to that. That's another thing. Ahmad might start as well. He's going to have, if everybody stays fit, it's going to be interesting, but I don't think he's going to start him. I think he's going to try to get to the first half. Hopefully we get a goal somehow in that. And he's going to bring these players in at the end, like Mount, Ahmad, Manu. I think that's what he's going to do. I think that's what he thinks is going to work with it. And maybe they're not our best players, but he gave him a 7. He got 2 goals. He got a. Oh my, he gives him a 7, and he got it. Oh my god. Um, 20 minutes, 2 goals, and you give him a 7. What the heck? Um, but we'll see. And we play West Ham on the weekend. I don't give a shit. I just want no fucking injuries. I think everybody's good. It's going to be like preseason. We're going to have probably, we got 5 substitutes. We're going to get 45 minutes of all of these players, and then another 5 guys will come in for 45 minutes. It's going to be the same thing on the next game after that. And hopefully no one gets hurt. And the coach is going to have to make huge decisions when it comes to the starters. Now, I don't think that if he goes with different teams, that Spurs going to have 2 or 3 goals against us. Okay, so I think we'll be fine. I mean, even if Spurs about 1-0, once he brings the other players in, if they can do what we know they can do, this happened before when they were beating us in the League Cup, and we came back and made it 3-3, and then they scored from a fucking corner, a corner that went into the goal. So I think we'll be fine. But again, we're not playing a team in Europe. We're playing a team in the Premiership, and we're very bad. We're very bad in the Premiership, but so is Spurs. And yeah, Mount won, and you're talking all this shit, Mark. And Mount fucking won the Player of the Night. So I think it's funny. He was talking all talk shit about him, and Mount got 2 goals, and he's like, he shouldn't be, and he is. So he got exactly what he deserved. But I'm going to stop right now. Very happy that we won. We got to wait almost 2 weeks, but that night's going to be crazy. Hopefully we win that game, and then we get the Champions League. Maybe we deserve it or we don't deserve it because we've been shit in the league. So is Spurs. It just shows how dominant the Premiership is. And really, Arsenal had chances last night to win that game and be in the Champions League final. And it would have really proved the difference between the Premiership and all the other leagues. But Arsenal still is Arsenal at the end of the day for them. But again, at the end of the day, we shouldn't lose to Spurs at any final. We should win it. And if we don't, it's going to be a hard fucking long, probably 30 years of this shit about Spurs fans saying that we suck because it's going to be bad. And we're going to have to deal with that. But you guys have a good day. I'm going to let it go right now. I know there's 2 people watching me right now. But nobody's asking me any questions. And now I have one. But anyway, it's over. And the May 21st is going to be an interesting game. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later. Maybe.